No start-stop button in this car. Instead, you just press the brake pedal, put it to D or in reverse, and then let's go.
The Volvo C40 Recharge aims at the fully electric SUV Coupé market, where there are already quite a few competitors. Can it match up?
The C40 Recharge is based on the XC40 Recharge, and it also has the same drivetrain. 2 electric engines, one at the front, one at the rear, each one 150 kilowatts, so 300 kilowatts in total. And with that, it will make the dash from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.6 seconds. And that feels pretty good for a car that weighs in at over 2.2 tons. It can only go up to 180 kilometers an hour, but that is not because it's an electric car. That is a general decision of Volvo. So even for the combustion engines, Volvo stops their cars at 180 kilometers an hour for safety reasons.
That top speed is at least 20 kilometers an hour less than most of the competition.
The energy for the 2 E-engines is provided by a 78 kilowatt hour battery. That way you will have a range of 440 kilometers according to WLTP. If you drive around purely in the city, just like us right now, then you will even get to a range of more than 570 kilometers. Of course, inner city driving, rather low speeds, a lot of start-stop, that saves energy.
The range assistant gives the driver tips to optimize their driving style in order to maximize range.
The C40 Recharge is an SUV Coupé, as you can tell by the sloping roof line, which looks pretty neat, but it also brings some problems because you will lose space in the back. Yeah, I mean, the space down here is pretty decent. That's absolutely okay. Right up here, there is not much space left. Of course, the roof is sloping down, just like I said. And that way, yeah, there is not so much space left. It's of course a little bit because of my hair, but imagine if I was a little taller, then I might be sitting like this in here. So better not be bigger than, I'd say, 1 meter 85, maximum 1 meter 90. Let's talk about the interior. It is pretty clean. You don't have a lot of buttons right down here. You have some for the infotainment system, skip forward, skip backward, play, pause, and to heat the windscreen, and that's it. The rest of it is done via the touchscreen right here, and that also applies for the climate control, which is right down here. It is okay because you can operate it like that.
Some competitors have no buttons at all.
Talking about other parts, the steering wheel feels quite okay, but it doesn't really look good. This part right here, the center part, which is way too big and way too prominent, no, that's not for me. I don't really like it, but the rest of the car looks really good. Of course, it takes a little bit of getting used to. The infotainment system is flipped. Usually other infotainment systems are like you know it from your TV, and that is more like your smartphone or tablet, but that's also a thing you will get used to pretty quickly. What is pretty neat, you have Google Maps on here because all of this works on an Android-based operating system.
Most competitors don't offer that, but still feature good systems.
What also works really good is the voice operation, navigation.
All right, where would you like to go?
Cologne Cathedral.
Navigating to Cologne Cathedral.
Would you look at that? That works really good. Now, as you can tell right here, it tells me the distance and the time it will take to get there, but it also tells me that it has charging needed because I will not make it there on one charge. So I can add a charging stop. It will then show me different ones and also tell me which kind of charging station it is. Very fast, medium, and it will also tell me how many there are, if they are free, and how long I will have to charge. 1 hour and 15 minutes. That's quite a bit of time of waiting, but guess that's what you gotta do for electric mobility.
That function is really practical, and not all the competitors give that much help to the driver.
Right down here you have two USB-C slots to charge your phone or to connect it to your infotainment system. And right below that you have a space to charge your smartphone wirelessly. It's just in the middle, you put it in and then your phone will charge, of course, if it does support the function.
That kind of charger can be found in all the competitors as well. The trunk of the C40 Recharge can fit up to 1,205 liters, which is 85 less than the XC40 Recharge. The competition came in somewhere around 1,400 to 1,500 liters.
If you use the full potential the car has on a regular basis, then you can say goodbye to your 440 kilometers of range and you will be close to 300 faster than you can say C40 Recharge.
But that problem is not exclusive to Volvo. Every other brand also faces it.
The general driving impression in the Volvo C40 Recharge is really pleasant. The car is silent, the car is comfortable, just like you know it from Volvo cars and just like you would expect it from Volvo cars. Of course, you have no combustion engine, which also adds to that feeling of silence in here, but the insulation is good as well, so there is nothing to complain about in this car.
The C40 driving experience is one of the best.
Right here behind the steering wheel we have a fully digital cockpit which will show the route guidance if you're using navigation, and it will of course also show your speed, your battery capacity, the temperature and so on. What the car doesn't have is a head-up display, and that's a little sad. The thing that is also not that good about that body type is the rear view. As you can tell, there is only a small flat window left, which is made even smaller by the headrest of the rear passenger.
Who would have guessed? The other SUV coupes all have similar problems.
Of course, a car like this with that much power and the comfort and everything comes at a certain price. We're talking about a base price of more than 60,000 euros in Germany, and that's quite a bit of money. The question is, do you really need that much power? And I think you don't. As I mentioned earlier, the car is based on the XC40 Recharge, and that one just got an update where you can order a version with just one engine, way less power and therefore also cheaper, and I expect the C40 Recharge to also get that treatment sometime in the future. So if you don't need that much power, you might as well wait for the other version to come onto the market and then save quite a few bucks.
To sum up, the Volvo C40 Recharge is better than its competitors in some aspects, but worse in others. It scores points with things like comfort and a silent interior. On the downside, it lacks a head-up display. The trunk is on the small side. And as of now, there's no real entry-level version.